Welcome back to the Sick Boys Podcast. I'm your host, JD Denham, and this time it's been a while, but right next to me,
Really
my
close.
co-host, right next to me, for people can see, is Justin Wenzel, and it's good to have you back.
Oh, bro, I am so happy to be back in person. We've been doing this, but it's not the same.
And no, it's not the same. It's definitely better life. But life is life, and today is a little curveball. We put the show on hiatus just for a few weeks because we've been busy as shit. I know we know each other well enough to know that we don't talk for a couple weeks. Head down, let's get after shit because we got businesses, plural, growing, and we're kicking ass, and that's why we get along so well. We understand each other, but we do have a special episode for you because we do have our better halves, our prettier halves, our brides, our wives, our I call them my butthole. I won't say that to you, but
Yeah.
my butthole.
It is our
It's our
nickname.
nickname.
Yeah.
And our wives are here today, so I'm excited to do a podcast today. I love it.
Yeah, it either takes the pressure off or adds a lot.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So Justin and I we haven't seen each other. I don't even know how long it's been. Has it been 6 months? Freddie said 6 months.
Almost. Yeah.
Jeez, time flies.
Wow.
So I want to
Yeah.
tell real quick, because we were talking about it last night about the story about how Justin and I met and how we were sitting here today. You know, when you jump, well, first off, I saw Justin at 24 Hour Fitness. He was always there at 5 in the morning. I was lifting with a buddy. He was always doing some cardio, and he stands out. And then shortly after, he was all over the damn Instagram and everywhere. And I'm like, oh, this guy's killing it. Like, you know, what up, Jim Rats? You know, you're everywhere, bro, everywhere. So then when I finally started to do my fitness channel, that's all I kind of knew, dude. I'm like, that guy seems to know what he's doing. So my very first sales video was me trying to mimic what he did.
remember that.
It wasn't very done well, but
Neither was
I put
mine.
my best effort into it. And it's funny that I don't even know, a year later, whatever it was, you when you're into that world and you're doing all right and like you've elevated a bit, you kind of see each other, you see what each other does, everybody and that is content creators. And so when you do meet them, you kind of know them. Like we kind of run, we were in HB, you be driving by one time. What up, dude? We'll get together, do a podcast. But then finally, I ran into you at Live Alpha, right? And so right away, we hit it off. We didn't say, what up, bro? We hugged, we knew each other. Come on my podcast, which was days later. And how Justin did his podcast, I don't know if you still do that, but he would lift with his guys, get to know him, conversation, videographer there, recording the whole time. I'd never seen that viewpoint. That was rad. And then we go and get a steak and some more filming. And then we record the podcast. So I remember, for me, when we sat down and had a steak, dude, we were just dropping stuff, dude. I remember thinking, dude, that was easy. So then when we did the podcast, I remember driving away that day going, we got to do a podcast. So I hit him up and I said, dude, let's do a podcast. He said, yes, and? I'm like, I didn't really understand where you went from there, but then you explained the yes, and that became the model. So here we are today, and cool story, man. It's good to have you back, dude.
Dude, this has been awesome. And it's just the text messages and even on my big webinars and stuff, guys that I've never seen before in my life will be like, hey, when are you going to do another one with JD? The other day I heard a guy say he goes on, I ride my 0-turn lawnmower and I listen to the Sick Boys podcast every single time. And it's just completely changed my life.
That's right.
And it's cool to hear the feedback that we're getting from, mostly men. And I think this is an important episode because, you guys get to see what this is from the wife's perspective, or at least get a different angle out of it.
Right. I would imagine the people that can see, if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, you Apple people don't get to do that, but you're watching it going, how did those two guys pull those good looking girls?
Yeah.
Somebody's thinking that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We create content.
The personal brand.
There you go.
They love us for our personal brand.
Right. But it's always a very easy thing. We had dinner with our brides last night, and it's always so good to get together and reminisce, talk about cool stuff. I remember when you're around the right people, what we were talking to him today, our favorite sayings, and one of mine is just, we're the sum total of 5 people we hang out with the most. And I always end it with choose wisely. So on that day when we were eating steak, one thing that I noticed about you, I don't know if I even told you this, was, I had a Submariner, which is all right. And then I noticed Justin's root beer, and I was like, that White Watch is sick. And instead of it, I didn't like go, fuck, jealous. I was like, I need to level the hell up, dude. Give me a root beer. I did. So the point of that is not about tangible things. It's like when you're around the right people will push you to do better. And the wrong people are the guys that are jealous and talk shit because they don't have that. I run from those people, right? Because when you're around the right people and you have the right mindset and you're comfortable with yourself, you go, shit, I need to get that. Like, I need to level it up and do better and push myself. And that's how it happens, man.
It is. Well, I think for both of us, I was watching what you were building in here too, and obviously it got me into wanting to do what you do in a way, but obviously with you in some sort of way. So that's what Christina and I built into. We've talked about this on numerous podcasts. We even have a podcast called Yes and I even got those two words tattooed on me. And that's like the number one rule of improv. Okay, and if you look at life, like it's all improv, right? Like we're improvising constantly. And if you're in an actual improv setting, the rule number one is yes and that's the number one rule of improv. And what that means is never negate. Okay, yes and means never negate, because the minute that you negate, the minute that you argue, the minute that you go negative, this gets boring, it's over, and it's done. Yeah. Right? So every single time you're on stage with your partner, and your job is to make your partner look as good as possible. Right. Because as long as you're making your partner look as good as possible, the skit goes on and the skit goes on and the skit goes on. It never ends. It could literally go forever until you run out of gas and you just have to go to bed. Right. But then the next morning, you're still yes and. The skit goes on. The minute you negate, it's boring, it's over, mediocre. And that's where most people sit.
Almost everybody.
Everybody.
What is it, 97%? I don't know. There's no exact statistic.
Right.
But most people are just, I don't know if it's just what we're taught in school, because school just kind of keeps you in this little box where there's no like creativity. Do this. When this bell rings, you leave, and all that stupid shit that we're taught. And like, that's another thing. Like, you and I came out where these punk rock dudes were like, yeah, like, bro, I'm going to like break the rules, because why the hell not? Like, I'm gonna sit in this little box. That's boring, dude. Like, let's break the box. It's punk rock.
Every box.
Yeah. Or last night, it's like we're talking, and like I throw out, like somebody was playing a Foo Fighters song, and like we start talking about all these different bands, and like we just know.
Yeah.
Different bands like from ever. It's that law of attraction, man. And like we've talked about last night, to where I will not go around anybody that has a weak a mindset, or if I tell them my goals, or if I tell them what I'm going to do and they knock it, dude, I'm done. Like, that's not because I think I'm better. That's not even close. I can't be around that energy. I'm going to be around yes and.
Yes and.
What else?
Yes but people.
Let's do what else
build you up.
People. Correct.
Yeah.
So as we sit here, and we have our brides here, I know we wanted to kind of tap on a little bit about a different perspective, which is our faces are out there. Geez, I think 2 people came up to us last night as we're sitting there that had recognized us. And that's a little weird.
Well, even last night, very world famous tattooer.
We should shout her out.
Yeah.
Let's shout Carrie Barba. Yeah. Sorry.
We didn't know who she was. She knew exactly who we were.
Sweetheart, though. Such
Great.
a
Yeah.
rad
Beautiful.
human
Yeah.
she was.
Great. Beautiful person.
Comes up and says that she'd be willing to tattoo us, and like Justin's like, oh,
I don't have any room.
yeah, he's like, oh, I got right here. And I'm like, well, I got my stomach left.
And of course, I'm a super fan, and I was in the bathroom.
Right.
And like I come back and I was really excited. Yeah, I DM'd her.
But as that type of stuff happens, and it has to take a strong woman too, because our faces are out there, and like I would imagine that would leave some vulnerability from the woman's side in regards to who's DMing you, and like my bride knows, because I've shown her.
Dude.
I'm picked up on by men more than women.
Does that happen to you?
Dude, like men are always in my.
But I don't see it anymore. I don't think you do either, because like we don't have it. Like we have people that do all of our stuff for us.
Yeah. And which is good too, because like you're attacked heavily when you decide to open yourself to social media world. You jump into just dickheads that have no life, and they just, for whatever reason, are miserable, and they want to like project that onto you. So if you don't have thick skin, this is not the career for you.
No.
My skin has thickened.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that a little bit. Like, it's like
process.
you know,
Ticketing.
they also
process.
attack your bride and your children, and that has been definitely like an interesting road to navigate. The internet's wild.
It's just
Like
hard
they're
for me.
mean sometimes or nice. But
It's just hard to accept like that. Like, you know, all you have to do is look at their profiles. If they have a profile
Same
to
time
begin
kind
with.
of person.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough to have somebody that talks shit to you in the comments and they have a profile, take a look into their life. And you know why they're talking shit. They're miserable. Never once have I ever seen like a guy talking shit who's on his boat. Right? Who's like, has a beautiful wife, like, and kids.
Yeah.
Like, never once have you seen that happen. It's always basement dwellers, zit face beat offs
Yeah.
that aren't doing anything with their lives. Like, it's literally, or it's like guys that look like they drink White Monster and punch holes in the drywall. Like, they're not fucking anything that you could ever want to aspire to be.
totally.
And so, but to let it bother you,
Yeah.
only lets them win. So you could, for me, what I enjoy doing on Facebook is just taking a screenshot of their profile picture, which is usually hilarious. And then I'll just put it in the comments and go, is this you, bro? Just checking. And then I'll just let all the extra comments just tear that guy apart. That's easy.
Talk amongst yourselves.
You can block them and delete them. You know, when it comes to like our DMs, like I have very strict rules with who gets blocked, who gets deleted, because the algorithm does know your behavior and does know what you entertain and what you will block and delete. So when you block and delete, like you were asking if if I get a lot of gay dudes and stuff. No, because throughout the years we've known that the minute like someone comes in with some weird shit, we just block, delete, block, delete. So now
Hey,
it doesn't
daddy.
feed it to that. Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't
Daddy.
know that went that deep. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's all the algorithm is all based on behavior.
Yeah.
So if your behavior is to engage with certain things, well, you shouldn't be surprised when you see more things.
Is that
don't engage
Christina?
at
Is that
all.
hard?
Interesting.
So you said you're getting there, meaning
Yeah.
like you're not there yet. So
Well,
what
he's
is
been
the hard part?
coaching me a lot on this topic, and he definitely gave me a different perspective of how I'm triggering people. Like it's like
Like responding, you mean?
the way that they comment on some of my content, and it's like I'm triggering the worst out of people when everything is so positive, and I'm like, I don't understand this,
That's
babe.
why.
And
Yeah.
like he just coaches me through that, because I do get in my head sometimes,
Of course.
but I don't engage now. I'm just like, because my initial response is to defend myself and
course.
to my children and
Of course.
everything, and I just want to like tell these people off all the time. But now it just doesn't bother me. Just delete,
Yeah.
and move on, because they're not going to ever win. They're not
Yeah.
going to change my mission. They're not going to change my purpose. They're not going to affect my relationship. Like
They want to.
they
That's the
want to,
objective.
but they never
Take you off
will.
the-
So it's like a waste of time to like respond at this
Right.
point. So yeah, I just delete. And yeah, no, he's helped me.
It's
a
a
lot.
muscle.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's what
if
he
you're
said.
tired, if you're tired,
That's what he said.
I
It's a
even,
muscle.
like,
yeah.
I'm like, will respond a few times, and like then I catch up. I'm like, why the hell did I do that? But like,
Yeah.
I'm more tired. Like when you're tired, you kind of eat more like shit because your guards are down. I learned in sales a long time ago, kind of the same thing where I'm emotionally detached from what happens. I don't care if I get it. I don't care if I do get it. It doesn't matter. Like either way, I'm gonna be cool. And I try to kind of keep that in these comments because, like you said, it's not ever doing somebody's not. It's not somebody killing it because people that are
Right.
killing
It's
it are one,
never-
too busy.
Yeah, it's never somebody.
3, 2, like it's men that are on testosterone and they're opening business and those guys are busy, dude. Like I don't ever go into somebody's comments and talk shit.
No.
I'm too busy for that. I don't even comment on anything else unless it's like a friend that and other than that, like
No.
if you're leaving negative comments.
One other thing though, real quick, just we're on this topic, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but this is a good topic. One thing that you said is it's like a muscle, and muscles grow over time with a lot of
This
repetition.
is what he said this morning to
Yep.
me.
And so you post, like for us, we have so much material out there. We have years of posting, upwards of a dozen times a day, thousands and thousands of posts, so much stuff that's out there on all platforms that we've created, our opinions, us looking shitty in the morning, my bad posture, anything people could tear apart, right? And over time, you've put so much material out that, like, first of all, I don't see the vast majority of it because it's out in the metasphere, right? Like it's just out there. Like who gives a shit? At some point, like your give a fuck when it comes to people's reaction to your stuff, you become, I don't want to say even callous, you just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's just you
Seasoned.
You become seasoned.
Yeah, but
right?
it takes a while.
It does. Right? Like, if you've posted 20 times and you've gotten a few hits from like people like just talking shit that are just shitty people, like that, I could see that being like, oh, I put a lot of work into that post, right? And my mission was to get this across, and clearly this triggered this person to be a loser, which is what they are. But you do that 10,000 times. Right. And at some point you find out what the common denominator is. And the common denominator is these people have nothing going through them. That's the only reason that they would ever even do that. But here's the other catalyst. We get paid for their hate. Thanks for the $3.05 on that.
You've grown my channel. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the dough. Like enough of you guys. You just bought us
paid for our
dinner.
dinner.
By the way, my dinners cost like your rent. So appreciate you, big dog. You're filling my bank account up.
Yeah.
So I really I get deposits every single day from Facebook, every single day, and then sometimes they're big. And when I say big, big for Facebook, $65, $160, $350. Sometimes they're $6, but it doesn't matter. Thanks for the $6.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Coffee.
Thanks for the coffee. And exposing your weakness, So at the end of the day, if you guys, once we're monetized, keep posting to the point where you get monetized, and you'll realize that the haters, it may sting a little bit, but I'll take a, hey, your posture sucks.
That's all you got, bro. That's what you got, bro.
Yeah. Now they're attacking my posture. Yeah, well, you're too tan.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Whoa.
Ow.
Ouch, you burned me.
Yeah.
So much so I got a hot coffee out of it. Thank you. Who gives a fuck?
It's irrelevant.
You will never meet somebody who is doing better than you.
Ever.
That talks shit. You'll never see it. And like I said, just look at the profiles.
Yeah.
There, no one is like out on Wave Runners and like, has all their bills paid and excited about life. That's like, oh my God, I'm going to fuck with this person.
Yeah.
Like no one does it.
Yeah.
Because the people who are doing well are going to be like, dude, that was a dope post, bro.
Yeah.
Damn, I need to copy that. That's rad.
Well, that's because they're doing it too.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to stick with those types of people. That's when like people are talking shit. I just take a left turn and like later, bro, cut you out, dude. As you ladies are seeing your husbands, and I think a lot of people that, I hate throwing this term out there, but influencer guys, they think it's just posting a couple posts and like we just hit it big. Like they don't realize the hours of that it takes to edit, or just thinking through and methodically. We were talking last night about the algorithms, how we both were like studying. I spent like 2 full days of studying the shit out of it to get, and when I needed to kind of go to a different direction. It's, my wife's a scene. I mean, like people think that it's just, you just become this guy, and they don't see like in the beginning of the first year, 16 plus hours, 365 days, even on Christmas that I was working. It's just like, must be nice.
Work. It's definitely work, and it's never ending. Like unless. That's a good question, though. Like, how do you balance your time? You're always on your phone. Question. You're always on, you're always working, creating, thinking. Even when you're not on your phone, you're still working in your head. It's always,
I haven't found it yet.
Creativity doesn't stop, right? You're always thinking. You're always working.
Always.
And so how do you balance that? Like, I know Justin and I talk about this a lot, and there's times where I'm like, I need attention, and I'm sure Liz does the same thing.
What you just said was attention, right? And what you got to realize is, you said influencer, and influencer is a broad term for like what everybody does on social media, right? But what the facts is that it's a personal brand, right? So it's your branding, and it's the same as if you have a clothing brand or any other brand. It's a personal 100%. Brand. But our job, and if you've read the book, and I read the book, studied it, held a whole entire book club on this through JWX, it's day trading attention. So you said attention. Our job is to day trade attention. That's what we do. So like how a day trader sits down and looks at like options and different stocks and stuff like that, and that's what they do all day long. They're day trading attention. That's the same thing that we're doing all day long. So we're looking for, okay, how am I putting client acquisition material out in the storyline, right? What are our options? What are we doing? Like we're doing podcasts. Why? Because we want to have long form content for people that we capture to go to and get to know us and be like, wow, that Justin and JD, they're actually legit. They're family dudes. Like they talk about real stuff. And then all of a sudden those hours accumulated that when we start to put out a product, they take that time and they believe in that product because they believe in us. We're day trading attention. So when does the job end? Where does the balance? Where is that? Well, it's when we decide, right? It's not like that. We don't have hours like the stock market, right? Like it's putting stuff out in real time, right? Circling back, making sure that stuff's nurtured. Now, the good news is earlier on when we were first starting this, we probably had less free time in terms of what we have to do on our social media and in terms of like communicating with others, but our businesses grew. So now we're still doing the day trading attention, except we have people to help us facilitate the DMs and stuff like that. But now we actually have products, businesses, softwares, things like that we have to maintain. Right. So so where like I look at it is like, yeah, we started off as influencers, but now we're actually business owners. We have a book of business. And that's all through day trading attention.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Because when we first started dating, like he's on his phone. And in my experience with dating, people usually just scrolling and looking and liking. And it's never been a good thing, right? It gets you in trouble.
He's working.
But then when I really began to understand how this is a business, he's looking for ideas to create.
For sure.
He's looking at performance of his content. He's looking at, like you said, the trading aspect, what's performing, what's not, the algorithms, like the looks, like it all behind the scenes stuff.
So much.
So when he's scrolling and looking, it's not anything from what I'm used to.
Right.
So my perspective and my, mindset definitely changed and evolved and grew along with the business and knowing that this is his job, so
literally.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all,
brand.
but I think what helped is just sending boundaries, that we're not going to be doing this, and now we do. Yeah.
That's always an ongoing. I think when you are dating, and I won't speak for you, I'll let you guys see if I'm right, but when you're dating, married to a driven man who is hard on himself to the degree that he needs to do more, like he's worth more, and he pushes himself to more, like it's never ending. And for me, it's been a double-edged sword because I used to be in mortgages or run mortgage companies, but I could shut it off and fine. I never thought about it when I shut it off. And now this side is, it's really hard for me to shut it down. But on the other side of that is, I have never been so freaking creative. I feel like, Alyssa and I were talking about the other day, this is like my painting every day. To me, it's Christmas every single day because I wake up, I read, I do my prayers, and that's where I start. And then I just start scrolling through my content to get a feel for, I'm going to post something about my bride today. Or, you know what, dude, I'm a little bit angry today. I'm going to post a video of me working out with like hardcore punk rock music, whatever. But I'm painting that day, and it's a purge. It's a authentic like connection to the people that watch it, and it's such a. It's awesome. It seriously is something that it's just like if you pick up a guitar and like when you're in the zone, you're killing it. But sometimes it's hard to turn off for me at least.
So this is interesting. I like this topic actually real quick because, so the other day I posted a reaction, actually it was yesterday, I posted a reaction about a guy who was talking about like, not all your hobbies need to be monetized. And he was reading a ChatGPT script, which was hilarious because he tried to fake it or try to sell it so well, but it was what it was. And I said, that's true. Not every hobby needs to be monetized, but it could be. And if you want it to, then do it. But here's the thing that people don't understand, 3, 4, 5 years ago, it was, hey, how's your little online business doing? Right? How's the personal brand? How's the influencing doing? Okay, we're in 2026. Okay. And so I made the comment about that. Somebody, or I made that was my reaction. Somebody commented and they're like, well, Justin, you got to realize that you've been doing this for a long time. You've already overcome a lot of the stuff that a lot of us are just getting to see or experience when it comes to monetizing and growing a personal brand and so on and so forth. And I'm like, yeah, of course. And thank God I started when I did. Because here's the deal. What is the alternative? What are the options? Okay. Every single business markets on social media now.
Have to.
You have to. There's nothing else.
You won't have a business.
100%.
And okay, and if you want to be self-employed in most cases, okay, and again, weigh out your options. If you're a normal person watching this, that you want to get out of a 9 to 5, you don't want to be stuck working for the man the rest of your life. What really are your options there? Okay, your options are to have a product or solve a solution and to sell it to somebody. There really is no other option, okay, unless you go into like some sort of service work, you're going to be a plumber, electrician, stuff like that. But still, if you want to be a successful plumber,
100%.
you better have a personal brand on
look
social
for
media.
it.
You better have that little
what's
online
his
influencer thing.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, your plumbing business is going to get sucked by somebody who does.
Yeah.
Right?
Period.
For example,
Period.
JT, and you know JT, my chief operating officer. He goes, dude, there are so many homes being built in McKinney, Texas. Wow, crazy. What's the most boring thing in the world? Water softeners. These homes don't get built with water softeners. Cool. Let me see how many water softener businesses are around McKinney, Texas. 24 of them. A lot, right? How many of them are killing it in social media? 0.
Right.
Awesome. What's another thing that they all have in common? None of them have forward-facing pricing. They're still doing the old school. Got to come in, get a, do a quote and
Right.
an estimate for you. He's like, why do I need to do an estimate? All the houses are the same,
Right.
right? So why do I need to do an estimate? So I'm going to do forward-facing pricing, no estimates. Order right here. You can pay with a firm in Klarna, and we're going to kill the social media game. He's wiping out all the so again,
Interesting,
people
yeah.
will look at it and be like, oh, the little social media thing. What's the other option? There is no other option.
Everybody. That's
You
business
have
then.
to, right?
That's marketing.
So if you don't want to be stuck in a 9 to 5, you don't want to work for the man the rest of your life, you want to have a successful business, understand that people buy off of social media now exclusively.
Yes. Yeah.
Exclusively.
Yes.
They don't go on Google anymore.
Right.
They don't watch commercials on television anymore. They don't buy from the newspaper anymore. They certainly aren't buying magazines anymore. Everybody
True,
buys from
listening.
social media. They discover what they want to wear from social media. They discover what they want to eat from social media, how they want to exercise from social media, what peptides to take, what medications to take. They discover how they're going to do their eyelashes, lip injections, their Botox. They discover every single
Shopping
thing that they're
recommendations.
going to do on social media, all the way to their fucking water softener.
Yeah.
They do everything through social media.
Totally.
So for us, whoa, sorry, we have our little online business.
Yeah.
But guess what? Just like the comment that guy put, I'm so glad I started what I did, because guess what? Everyone who didn't and laughed about it and all of that.
Way behind.
Yep. Have fun checking in and getting your 401k.
Look at them now. They're on
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media.
Yep. And now they're trying
yeah,
and they want to catch up. This is the only way out. It's the only way out.
Yeah, but
Totally.
what did you said there that I caught that I say it all the time, which is, what did JT do that stood out? What did he do? What was the first thing he did that stood out that nobody does? He freaking thought through it, dude. He used his freaking mind. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. We've talked about it when I was running the mortgage company. I was a mortgage banker, got moved to branch manager. I didn't pay attention to what anybody did until I was a branch manager, and I had to. And then I had to pay attention to everybody's numbers. What was your schedule like? Why are these guys always shitty and these guys always good? So I had to start deciphering that. And when I'd pull people into my office and ask them, well, tell me about your day, the ones that sucked, most of them actually, like probably like 9 out of 10, but like the ones always that were doing horrible, I don't know. I just kind of get here. There was no structure to their day. You don't like think through when
No
you call certain
strategy.
states. Like what? That's like so what? That nobody thinks. You heard me say it 100 times. Thinking is such hard business that if it were easy, everybody would do it. Henry Ford, pretty smart guy, Henry Ford.
Not bad.
Where JT used his brain. So if you're listening to this is very simple. I want to tell you, what do you love? What can you solve? And then use your brain to stand out and be different. My wife will tell you, when I was going to do this, I saw his stuff. I had no clue what it even meant to be a coach. Somebody gave me like Wes Watson's protocol, and like it was like 3 stories and like a book, and I'm like I did it for a week, and I'm like, that sucks. And like I'm going to be bored with that, and like I don't care if I'll do, but I'm going to just kind of find my own way. And I said, what do I love? I love my family. I love fitness. I'm a carnivore, and I had 4 buckets, and I just literally strategically, methodically planned out Mondays will be family day, Tuesday at the very beginning. And then my first story was a post that bled into that post, and it set the algorithm. The algorithm started to fire. Why? Because I freaking thought through it, dude. I didn't know what I was doing on social media. I hated social media until I started how to make money. But this little thing right here, I sucked at Instagram. I didn't even know how it worked.
Evolution. Yeah.
Like,
He had
dude,
no Instagram.
Whoa. You know what I mean? And who was everybody else? You know, gonna make it, dude. Like, maybe not, Bill, but like, I'm gonna still freaking do it.
Well, there's 2 types of people that are on this. There are 2 types of people. There are consumers
I knew he was going to say this.
and there are creators.
Yeah.
You have consumers and creators. And for the vast majority of consumers, which are, by the way, also the shit talkers, there's no creators that are shit talkers. That doesn't exist. Okay. The consumers consume, and they're the ones that are 9-to-5ers, right? That's released it. They're the consumers. And then the creators are off doing their own thing, solving problems, getting seen, and selling. So marketing, right? And then the consumers, they might be able to sell, but there's that old famous question: what's more important, marketing or sales?
Ooh.
Which one do you guys think it is?
Marketing.
Right.
Marketing.
100%.
Right. Yeah, because without marketing, who the fuck are you going to sell to?
And if you're a business owner, here's my take. If you're people that you are trying to connect, you're a lighthouse, right? You want to connect, you want your light to spray out to pull in what boats, right? If those boats don't know what you stand for, whatever it is, if they don't know what you stand for, they're not going to buy from you. Even if the people that like out here don't agree with your stance, if you have a stance and this is who you are, you'll sell to people that don't even agree with you because you have a stance, because they know what they're getting, and at least some, because everybody is so sick of the ruse and like full of shit. At least this guy's honest and straightforward. I don't agree with him, but at least he's like him.
Yep. Well,
They don't know who you are.
And difference is the enemy. If somebody looks at your post and goes, man, whatever, I can live without it, you failed. If somebody goes on your post and they're like, your tits are too big, your thong's hanging out, what a whore. You won. You won. If somebody goes through your stuff and they're like, meh, well, you missed the mark.
Yeah.
You missed the mark entirely.
Right.
Because what's going to happen is for every person that says some bullshit, there's going to be people that are like, oh, I like that. What's going on? What is her outfit?
Yeah.
Right? You have to have both. It does, and one feeds the other, and that's the beautiful thing about the algorithm, and about that's how it's always been. That's how it's been with politicians since way before social media, right? You had it's still to this day, right? It's everything is politicking and is right and wrong, and I agree and disagree, and so on and so forth. That's what brings people to what we call a funnel.
Yeah.
Right? Grant Cardone is the most famous for it. He'll go on camera and he'll go, yeah, you guys, if you don't make over $500,000 a year, you're a loser and you should probably just kill yourself. And then people will be like, fuck that guy. I hate that Grant Cardone guy. But 20 million people see it.
Yeah.
And then 10% of the people go, oh, what's Grant talking about?
Yeah.
And they click follow.
That's the lighthouse. He wanted those 10% of people. That's 10% of
20 million? Well, yeah. And then all of a sudden they start to see his lifestyle. They start to see how he created the lifestyle. Then all of a sudden he decides to throw a webinar over the weekend for 5Gs and how to buy and sell multifamily units. And 5% of that 10% does that. Well, Grant Cardone just bought another jet.
JD, do you pray over your content?
I do. Yeah. I pray over this company. I've learned a long time that prayer is heavy.
You've seen it work.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
That's a good question. I like that one.
Yeah, I mean, I post it. I mean, a lot of people probably think that I'm full of shit and selling it, but like, I'll tell you this. This isn't in any type of boastful, but Warrior Makers has a 67% return ratio. 67. That's unheard of in a company. And we have not spent $1 on marketing. How? Because they know who we are. They know that my message, our message, everybody here, our message together, we have an amazing team. We are very choosy on who we hire. Some duds get through, but like they're passionate as we are. And they are the brand is who we are. Flag bearing, Bible reading. It's just who we are. And like, that's the cultivation and that's the lighthouse. And I want those boats, because the boats that aren't like that, that they're not loyal, dude. Like they'll like I'm looking for me out
Yeah.
there because like if that guy has a message that I agree with, I'll pay 4 times because I know who he is. And dude, I believe in what you stand for. So the cultivation is the brand of Warrior Makers, which is, you know what you get. Now, a lot of people don't agree with it. Fine. I'm looking
Right.
for you, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless some guy's like, dude, he's full of shit. He prays like, and they don't believe me. I'm not looking for you, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, what spiritual discipline has been the biggest influence or beneficial to your success, do you feel? One thing that you do every day
I
that
don't
helps
ever
you the
skip
most.
my morning routine ever.
He's had the same morning
Ever.
routine
And that's
since
very
we
similar.
first started
It's
dating.
same-
Not
yeah.
ever. If we are on
Like,
vacation,
literally.
I'm up early. I'm like hearing the waves crash because I'm out on the balcony. But I wake up. I've just done it for so long.
Yep.
And what's your morning routine look like?
I wake up, hit coffee, as it's brewing. Like I just kind of sit there and kind of wake up. I go get a half of a cup, have that half a cup. Then I start with a prayer, and then I read from 5 books, and then I pray and hit my knees, like literally hit my knees. My wife's called me a couple times, and then I just sit there for 5 minutes, and I say meditate, but I let myself think. When you haven't looked at your phone in the morning, you're pure. And I
Yeah.
have had the best ideas of my life. Like some of the stuff that we're sitting on right now is that 5
In
minutes
your
of
alone
just,
time with God.
I just
Yeah.
believe he speaks to her soul. And I did a post on this and like it didn't hit like I thought it was. But have you ever been woken up by an idea at 2 a.m. and like you have this rad idea and like 9 out of 10 people will know it's a good idea, but they'll roll over. I'll do it in the morning. Like we'll tell you, I wake up and I write it down and I'll start kind of working on it because I believe that's sent from God. I believe
Yeah.
God, you're so pure when you kind of are awake. He talks to your soul.
Yeah.
So I get up and I do a little work on it because I know I'll forget it. It's gone forever if you let it go. Like God will speak to your soul.
Yep.
If
That's
What
what
about
I,
you, Justin?
Well, that's
'Cause I know what
actually
you're gonna
literally
say.
like what Freddie. Like I text anytime I wake up with an idea like that, I just text it over to
Yeah.
Freddie, and it literally like we have probably a dozen 2 a.m. texts just in the last 6 months of like just I text him that, but my morning routine. Well, so I very rarely
Read
get
the
up
Stoic.
before 3. Not
No,
anymore.
he has a new.
Yep.
Tell him what you've been doing.
I spend about an hour in the Word.
Yep.
And like, I mean, the other day I read the whole book of Esther, like all the way through, which by the way is my favorite book in the Bible, by far my favorite book in the Bible. It's so good. Yeah, I spend about an hour in the Word, do my peptide routine, get my pre-workouts, my sour, I'd make like a nice sourdough spread on a big cutting board thinking about you. It's all carbs.
Yeah.
Mine's all carbs on a cutting board. And then my gym is about a half hour away now. So that half hour drive is so nice. 4 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody. I'm in the mountains in the desert. And I'm pretty silent. And it's all prayer the whole entire
And that's
drive
your
in
alone
the
time
sun.
with
That's
God.
my alone time with God. And I've been having just like the most awesome. I don't know that I'm like having any like awakenings or anything like that, but it's like all gratitude and peace. And then I get to the gym, and Freddie meets me there, and then we train together, and we've been pushing each other so hard. But my morning routine is completely dedicated to God. And just getting myself, obviously, but my getting myself ready part is easy. Like that's just something I've been doing forever. But before it was Daily Stoic.
Yeah.
And I love Daily Stoic. Don't get me wrong. And Ryan Holiday is fantastic. But my pastor, he made a suggestion that we do a challenge, which this app that I have on my phone, will do like a Bible challenge for like a month straight. And I did it, and I did it in John, which I'm not even. John's not one of my favorite books of the Bible, but I just did it in John, and I was like, wow, this is really great. So I just started continuing to do it, but I started picking random books, and a lot of times going with whatever series we're doing at church, because we take church very, very serious. You know, we go. I'll tell you another story too. This
I
is.
thought we were supposed to be taking.
We're gonna switch over. Well, we don't have to. We don't have to go.
We're talkers.
We don't have to
do
go
this
this
for a
route.
living.
But
She's like waiting.
but when we were doing the series of Esther, the whole concept was, your comfort and your calling never coexist.
Yeah.
And I loved that topic. But as Pastor Ashley was praying us out, he was calling people out of their convictions of where they were falling in their comfort versus their calling, and where they were fully trusting in God and fully surrendering in God. And he goes, there's somebody in here who does pretty well financially, but you're toying with putting your full financial faith into God. And that was me. Like, I believe in tithing, but it's always been like, what do you tithe? 10% of like your net, your take home.
Yeah.
Like, do you go,
Supposed to be
it's the
first.
first, right? But like first of what you make, the business makes, right?
It's supposed to be
And-
before anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's rough. I'm not gonna lie that I say I do that.
So
Definitely.
after
easy.
it was, I always did after what I make, right? That was always my thing, not the business. And I had a conviction about it. And I got really quiet after the service. And I walked back and I just said, and I didn't even say anything to you.
No, you just went over to.
The kiosk,
The-
or
yeah, and
the,
I'm like,
the
what are we
welcome
doing?
center. And I grabbed the info that I needed and I just wrote the check. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just put all my faith and my finances into God.
Surprise.
20 minutes later, I get hit with the biggest test.
Yeah,
The business
he
deal goes sideways.
Tested the whole week.
The whole week, business deal goes sideways. I was out almost $100,000. It was like test after test after test. And then I just said, God, I trust you. I'm going to continue to do this. This is going to be my thing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden things started coming together. And one after the next, after the next, after the next. And then like we had one of our biggest weeks in business. And then we had our biggest month ever in business this last month, ever, like by a lot. And it was, still an expensive month for me.
Yeah.
But it was just one after the next, after the next, just trending up and things getting easier and being more fluid. And I just knew, I was like, this is because I committed to completely trusting God with my finances, handing it over happily. And I, it was funny because he just like, the minute he said that, it was like he was talking right to me. And by the way,
Okay.
yeah. And by the way, this sermon was recorded the night before too. So so he records it at the service on Saturday nights. We watch it on screens in our church.
Okay.
And even like we've been so intentional about church. Like we have a campus 5 minutes from our house, not even 2 minutes from our house. We choose to go to the campus a half hour away, because that's the campus that all the pastors are at. And that's like where I like the musicians there better. And we've started to make friends there and stuff like that. So every Sunday where we get the kids ready, it's a process to get there a half
He's
hour
like,
away.
"Don't- you don't
And we
have
could
to tell me
literally
about
walk
it."
to our,
Yeah, it's a deal.
our
It's a thing.
service right up the street. But I said,
whole big
everything that I
thing,
want to
yeah.
do with what we do in our faith, I want it to be extremely intentional. And so this is the first Sunday that we've missed, that we haven't been traveling.
Yeah.
And we're traveling. But yeah, we haven't missed a Sunday, and it's been just literally that. And then every single day is just hour in the word. So, in my life is just so much more at peace from it. But I've simplified it all.
Yeah. No, I've seen
Yeah.
tremendous growth in your spirituality, definitely over the past few weeks. So, what does it mean to be a spiritual leader from both of you? I want to see if you have the same kind
I
of
think that
idea.
it all boils down to a man. Everything. Like, it's
Being a man?
anything- I just think the man is the God ordained as the man as a leader. He's a leader, period. If he is not the man that he's supposed to be, which is first and foremost protector, protector meaning that his wife has to feel safe, because she cannot be her God ordained role, which is the
Nurturer.
nurturer, because women today, they don't feel safe. They don't feel protected. Like, look at around you, there's passive men. That's my calling. Like, now, if you look at my channel, it's changed. I believe that's all of this that's the why. There's been some perks along the way because I feel I've been faithful. But my thing is to get men to stand back up because something happened to men. And if a man is his rightful role, the house is in line. It's not perfect because like life is messy and kids are crazy and wife needs more attention and like, you know, it's life is life. But when he is the man and he's the protector, provider, leader, and she trusts him, everything else falls in line. I don't like compare my relationship with others, but I have a pretty damn good relationship with anybody that I know. And it's in that order. Like my wife stays home and takes care of the kids, and that works for us because they're small. And, you know, I'm the provider. But first and foremost, she knows if something goes down, like my life will be put on the line for them because it's just, that's how it is. And men have lost that. It's
I
not
think
out there.
men. I think a lot of men stop at provider without realizing that provider is the bare minimum.
Yeah, period.
You pay the bills.
Right.
Cool.
But you're an asshole.
But yeah, you're a loser. Like,
Right.
it's so funny that you said protector first because it is. It's first protector, right? In terms of, you know, it's leading by example too.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
dude.
It's like, are you disciplined? Are you strong and physically and mentally strong? You, as a dad, as a leader, as a husband, you should be physically strong. Because that
They
applies
go
to
hand
all
in hand.
areas of your
Yeah,
life,
It
right?
starts physically.
Yep.
The brain will follow. And then, so from a woman's standpoint, let's just be honest, is it if you're married and your husband has given up on himself and he works and, you know, you guys are getting by, but, you know, he's getting overweight. He comes home, he watches football all day Sunday. I'm not knocking that. I'm just using an example, and pops a beer, and there's no, like, that's life. Or
Resentment
that's
starts
one
building
guy.
right away.
Or guy that wakes up at 4, does his routine like forever, goes to the gym, stays in shape. Your wife feels safe. Which one is sexy? Right?
Right.
Right. So you see these guys that are in good shape that like get talked shit on by the guys that are not. Cool, whatever. It starts there because if you have no discipline in anything, it doesn't matter like what you want to do. Get a 6-pack. You'll be better at business. You know why? Because you learn to cultivate discipline. You learn to say no to chocolate cake. You learn to, fuck, I don't want to go to the gym today. Fuck, I'm just going to go anyway. And then you walk here, you're like, fuck yeah,
can buy
dude,
a
I feel like
six-pack.
$1,000,000. So glad. But most people, so like, I'm thinking of eventually writing a book called The Alarm Clock. It's the first decision of every day. He knows it. It's the first decision of every day. So the people that don't hit snooze and get up and get after their day, that is it sets the tone for the entire day.
Have you ever seen me hit snooze?
No.
I texted
You wake up
didn't I?
before the alarm
know.
clock.
I don't even have an alarm.
Automatic.
There's no alarm clock.
Let me build off of this for a second because the next part is the big part of that one is also honesty. Okay. And trust and truthfulness. Okay.
100%.
So when we talk about that, the discipline side of things, right? It's keeping promises to yourself. Okay. So I have worked with a lot of men, a lot of married men and fathers. I've worked with a ton. And let me tell you that when they let themselves go, when they lie to themselves, when they say they're going to start Monday and it never happens,
Tomorrow.
I can tell you this. That's not the only area they're lying.
100%.
They're also very, very addicted to porn. They are literally very addicted to porn. They're lying about their finances, hiding situations from their wives. Almost all of them.
That's crazy.
They are. They are internally doing things out of character that I hear about that is across the board. And we're talking hundreds of men, all very common situations that you see across like television shows, social
contagious.
media. It's so bad that like these guys are doing things like parking their truck up at the end of the neighborhood and just sitting there contemplating whether they want to even go on anymore. They have nobody to reach out to. They have no brotherhood. They have no friends. They're falling apart, and they don't tell their wives this. They feel like because again, they feel like the provider is exactly what they need to be. They don't see the disciplined person. They don't see what actually it takes to be a true man, spiritual leader, head of the household, so on and so forth. They stop at provider. And
So,
the minute
babe,
you
you're
stop at
talking about people who are successful and fit
So-
and
not-
still failing?
No,
No,
not
women are
fit, not fit. Just your
Giving up.
Yeah, your everyday,
Most guys.
your everyday dad, husband, man. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I see constantly.
Most dudes that are fit and in shape have drive that like
Yeah.
it's just a different man. What is like what's your favorite thing about Christina? Because I could tell you with Alyssa, like one of the things that she stands out. You know, we've had tons of relationships in our life where we're getting old. What's one of the things where she stands out to you? Where she's different.
So she is the most resilient woman. And learning about like when she decided to just pick up from New York, take her kids to Arizona, buy a house sight unseen. A job went sideways, a couple opportunities went sideways. She decided to start a business herself. Got denied some stuff, some treatment for one of the sons. I don't want to expose you, but you know, had to end up going to like the food bank and like literally figuring it all out on her own.
Because the man
Right. That's what I mean.
wasn't being a man.
Like, that's
Yep.
my point.
And he just
That's
wanted-
most men.
Right.
Your situation is millions.
Yeah.
It's just men are not holding up their part of the bargain.
The
Control.
resilience and the life that she built for herself and her boys. Like when I first came to Arizona, and then how much she considered me, and the way she made she made arrangements for me to stay in that disciplined routine schedule and stuff like that. But when I walked in and her house was in order, when she picked me up from the airport the first time I came to visit her, and her car was completely spotless.
It always
Spotless.
is. It's just-
Everything was so in order, and I was like, and you do all of this, and by the way, I also know, and again, I'm not trying to out anybody, but I know your ex-husband very, very well. I know what he put you through, and for you to just be so resilient that you just stayed right on there. Most people would break with the shit that you've been through.
Thank you, babe, for noticing.
Well, yeah,
Well, she
yeah.
had to take that masculine role.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately that like that's a huge deal.
But then when I was able to step in, and how she was able to completely change,
And I did it sober.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And how when I was able to step in and say, okay, now I'm going to be the one taking
Because
over.
when he met me, I was completely sober. I
Yep.
wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing anything to cope. It was just my faith keeping me going.
That's the best way.
But yeah,
Yep. And so now we have that dynamic where yes, I'm the protector provider, that I'm the disciplinarian, and now she's able to embrace her entire feminine role, and I think it works out perfectly for us.
it's a good
God ordained.
balance. We were just saying that how
Yeah.
we all balance each other.
Like we were talking earlier how like just our perspectives on like Justin and I are a lot more similar with like, what'd you say, like outgoing, more like positive, like people are inherently good. And I
Yeah.
don't mean this in a mean way, but like, and then like the more like cautious, quote unquote, protective, like you guys relate
Maybe
on
a
that
little
sense.
antisocial.
At least,
I have been lately.
yeah.
Like she's like, "Oh, go talk to neighbors." I'm like, "No,
I literally
I'm
told her
staying
this
inside.
story.
I'm antisocial. No, I don't want
Yeah.
to talk to anybody."
That's like me. So
Yeah.
we're
And I'm
very
cool with
much
it.
alike,
I'm
but
cool
yet
with
we
me
all
being alone
balance
right
each
now.
other out a little.
Yeah, but we help each other.
Yeah, we
in
help
that
each
sense.
other.
Like,
My wife,
Yeah.
like
You know?
I'll answer that because my wife, where she stands out to me is, I believe men are very easy. Men need to feel powerful. I think that's very easy. Feed us, have sex with us, and make us feel powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell
And
us
my
we're doing a
wife
good job.
Always, she know how many times she tells me she's proud of me,
I'm so proud of you.
and I'm like, put my head down and work my ass off harder.
Yep.
Because like we've even talked about what success for me. It's like I want to go to a restaurant and not have to worry about if I want to buy 2 T-bones. I don't want to worry about the cost. Just I know it sounds silly, but that's
Yeah.
the truth. I want to buy what I want and not have to worry about it, eating wise and all that. But like 2 is like I want to say yes to my wife. I want to be able to provide her with pretty much. I'm not saying spoiled and like go like spend all of our, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, babe, buy that. You know what I mean?
Might be a
And like
little bit
that
spoiled.
woman that goes, babe, I'm
Me?
so appreciative of you. You work so hard for us. Like, ladies, if you're listening to this, like, listen, if you don't do that to your man, do it once, but like it needs to be authentic. He will bust his freaking ass for you.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
just tell him you're proud of him. Even if you're not, then he'll probably step it up a little bit. I'm serious. That's make us powerful, feed us, have sex with us. That's easy. That's it. We will bust our asses, work 20 hours a day if we're just given that. Women are a little bit more difficult, but that's how men are. You know,
Complex. Not
very
difficult.
yeah,
They're
that's a better word.
complex.
Yeah.
Complex.
I am so proud of you.
I know.
Like, so like,
It's very
it is
authentic.
genuine. It's like, yeah.
It's authentic, and like I said, I think it's easier. I think relationships are easier than we've made them. I mean, humans get in the way of everything. I think, again, just to simplify it, it starts with the man. If the man is doing what the man needs to do, the rest of it pretty much falls in line. We talked about on the last podcast with Alyssa and I, the women that are like aggressive and like that passive guy because they control them. And my stance was until they met a real man, because there's not going to a girl that's going to out alpha me. It's just not going to happen. Like, but if she finally breaks through the walls, whatever happened to her, you were molested, you were cheated on, whatever that wall is, the real man, because he's going to stand there and be a man of integrity with you, whether you were there or not. And if you feel secure, those walls will eventually come down. And then that woman that usually likes the passive man will get that taste of a man that's protective, and that guard will eventually slow down. I believe it's God ordained. I believe
True
that's God ordained.
polarity is the only proven system in a household. It really is. And even if you're gay, lesbian, whatever, like there's always like, you know, the twink and like the bear guy, you know, there's always like the feminine lesbian and like
Yeah.
the butch, you
Right.
know what I
Which
mean?
one?
There's always
Right,
there
we're getting
always
canceled.
there
Can I
always
Can I be the butch tonight?
yeah, there
Yeah.
always needs to be that polarity regardless. There's a book called The Way of the Superior Man where they talk about this. Where the writer talks about polarity and like it has to exist in a relationship, and these
100%.
you know, yeah, exactly. You see the, like, you know, the divorce rate, but you also see like the climbing rate of women who are the bread earners and these like, you know, alternative lifestyle, like, you know, men calling their wives their partner
Oh,
and
that's
stuff
so
like
weird.
that.
Oh my God, I
Yeah,
hate
it's super
that.
gay. But like you wonder why the divorce rate is so high. You wonder why, you know, people are existing the way that they're existing, and why testosterone is dropping, and why men are just not men anymore. And this is why. It's because that polarity doesn't exist. What works? What works is a strong, disciplined man and a nurturing woman.
Period.
That works. That was the way God designed it. That's the way. And regardless of
Yep.
your religious
Yep.
beliefs,
Yep.
that's just how things are. That's how they work. And we try to add these alternative and spice it up over here and make it different over there. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You know, and to each their own. Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
You can I didn't want to get married. I told her that. I know you guys have heard that story,
Yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
you can have an amazing relationship. We'll be together for 14 years in August, and
Crazy.
madly in love. I mean, I was thinking about this
You
the
didn't
other
want
day.
kids either, right?
I didn't, but like
Yeah.
the right person changes
Yeah.
things, you know. And like
Same.
I was thinking about this the other day because we were doing a podcast. I haven't even thought about another woman the same since I met Alyssa.
Right.
It's just completely changed the trajectory of like the man that I was,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the right person does that. Most people just don't wait for the right person.
That's
Right.
right.
Or they made the wrong person first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's more common now,
Yeah.
right? Where like it was like, you know, you settled or
They
you
married
weren't
lust
healed
instead
of love.
or yeah, it was there was some sort of thing that
Convenient.
yeah,
Well, like timing
convenience.
for us also, like if we had started dating a year before, you know, it was
Why
like,
though? Because I wasn't ready to be that man.
Yeah, and I
That's
wasn't
all
so
of it.
yeah, same here. And I wasn't ready to be that woman either. You know what I mean? Like I was, but totally, it was like perfect timing in our lives.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're both amazing. I do have a question.
Yeah.
So, what how do you want your children to perceive you when you're gone? What one
I
sentence?
love that one.
One sentence would you want to hear from your children's
I love that one.
mouths? My dad is such and such.
He was a man of integrity.
Yeah, I want to be like him.
Oh,
Boom.
Yeah.
I could say without a doubt, that's what I'll say about my old man.
Yep, me too. I want to be.
I
like my
fought
dad.
forever to try to not. I'm not like my dad. Now, like
Yep.
that's the biggest badge of honor you
That's
can
so
even tell
true.
me. Like, dude,
I
my
think-
dad's a
I
good
think-
How do
dude.
people
I
say
think
that?
of- I
A
think
lot
of-
of people say they don't want to be like their parents.
It's a young, like
it is a
rebellious.
I was gonna say, and it is so like okay. Sorry, not to interject, but like it's very attractive to see the respect both of you like, and like I think that's passed down too. Like I want my boys to look at you
For sure.
the way you look at your dad.
But
Our
that's only
boys.
going to happen if he's that man.
Totally, but you know what I mean? Like these like bratty
Like you're
entitled
cutting
kids,
corners, you're
you know
like
what I
telling little
mean?
white lies.
Yeah,
Man
Your
of
son
integrity.
will be that.
yeah.
Yep. I think
gratitude.
to all the things that my dad used to say to me, and I look back at it, and the way I looked at it was like, that was condescending. What a prick! I can't believe he talked to me like
Yeah.
that and stuff like that. All of those things
Lessons.
today that I think of, like when I'm like, I gotta take the shopping cart all the way back to the
Yeah,
to the,
that's
to the
huge,
thing, and
bro.
I'm going to do it regardless. But when I think about it, like right away, I think of my dad saying, "Take pride in something you do."
Boom.
And
Yeah.
and I think about like all these like little things that he would say to me, and like he would make me feel, and I would feel small in the moment, right? Like I would feel like he was breaking me down. But all of those things that he did nowadays, like when I'm in the moment, I think to those things, and it makes me always do the right thing.
I love that.
Hell
And-
yeah. That's the power of father. I did it. That's so.
And I hated him for it for the longest
screaming.
time.
When I was
thought he was such a
broken-
dick.
Yeah.
And now I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Well, because he's such a powerful man. Your father. I've talked to you about your father as mine. When I was just got sober, the stability that I leaned upon and I stood upon was my dad's. What he taught me: show up on time. Right? Shake a man's hand. Don't shake a man's hand sitting down. You stand up, you look him in the eye. These little things are whatever, dude. But like, you know what I mean? Like your time's not more important than other men. Like, you know what I mean? Or don't ever be somebody that when you see somebody working, don't be a guy sitting down. Doesn't matter if your work's done. You go help them.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Nobody's taught that anymore. That's what I'm trying now these days to bring back. It's these old school values. My mission, man.
Yeah.
And it's like there's this movement of punk rock dudes that were beat to shit but healed and brought and just are ready to like grab the microphone and speak about God in their own way. There's so many out there. We got a question from the crowd. How does your faith influence what you admire most in your partner? And how has that admiration changed as your relationship has grown? Boom.
That sounds like a good question for the ladies.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You're questioning us?
Well, that's
How does your
How
faith?
did this
How does
turn
your
on us?
faith?
Oh, I know.
Baby, you can have this. You haven't talked much. How does your faith influence what you admire most in your husband? And how has that admiration changed as your relationship has grown?
Me answer that? Wait, hold on, let me see it again. Sorry. What do you admire?
How does your faith influence?
How does your faith influence what you admire most in your partner? Well, oh my God. Well, so, I mean, my partner, my husband, has brought me closer to God, but that was started a long time ago. But I mean, even just having faith in like his vision for his business and him in general, you know, has, I don't know. Yeah, sorry. It's a long question. Yeah,
We have to break.
yeah. I forget the question, so I forgot it. Can you edit that out?
I love you.
Please? Like, can you edit that out? I can't. Don't
We'll
put me
get
on.
it.
Yeah, like I can't see it. I
Edit that
forgot
out,
it.
editor.
Please edit that out. Like, give me a better
Go ahead,
question.
Christina. You take it.
My faith gave me my husband.
Oh, I
Like,
love that. See, that's better.
I believed that I had this vision of a man and manifest this man.
So did I.
So my faith actually brought me to him.
Right, I love it.
And the closer that we get, the closer our relationship with God,
Yeah.
we it's definitely a triangle. Like that was the vision I had before I even met him, right? Like we spoke about this. It was a vision of a triangle.
Yeah.
And we were aligned and we didn't even know each other. God was preparing each of us separately. And then when we met, we
100%.
just,
Cultivating.
yeah, everything just flourished so naturally. And I really became so much closer to God because of this relationship. And the closer he gets to God, the more attractive he becomes to me. Like, I'm like, I could trust him. I could let my guard down, you know, because
Yo.
I was in a place of survival mode, you know, very protective over my kids, my finances. Oh, that was a tight knit. Like I was in control of everything, you know, and to give that control to a man was not something
only comes
that
with trust.
exactly.
There's
like
no
I
way.
feel safe with him. I trust him. I trust that he's going to lead us in the right direction. He's going to make decisions that I can trust, you know, like he decided on the church. That wasn't the church I was going to. I was going to the one that was 5 minutes from the house, and I was happy with that. But yet he wanted to go somewhere else. I trusted his decision with
That
that.
submissiveness is a woman's
Yeah,
huge.
very. I feel I'm the most submissive I've ever been in my whole entire life
That is called trust.
because I trust him and I trust that he has a relationship with God and he hears from God. And I know from the minute I met him, I was like, this man's so anointed. He has such a strong calling on his life. And I just became totally admired by it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm completely admired by him more and more every day. The more that I see him evolve, the more that I fall in love with him.
Absolutely. It's
I
that.
probably don't tell you that enough.
Wait, that's,
I keep a little bit to myself to keep you guessing. But yeah, no, I'm completely obsessed with him.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be hard. I think when you meet the right person, I always articulate it like this: like God, we were two broken people fixing ourselves, and then God brought two broken pieces together, and
Yep.
this was a perfect piece, like His masterpiece. Two rudders, one together, one boat. Now it's like
Very true.
Well, when they
It's
say
great.
God uses imperfect people to carry out his perfect plan.
Amen. That's it.
wait, I want to ask.
Let's say that again.
Go ahead, baby. Yeah, preach, your brother.
Wait. I feel like I'm interrupting every time. Sorry. Okay. So both of you are like very public, and everyone thinks they kind of like know you. What would you say is a weight that you carry that nobody knows?
That's a
That's
good
a good
question.
question.
It's actually
Go,
a really
let's.
good question. I think the authenticity of keeping
that
like
one in.
one of the biggest compliments that I've gotten. Well, we get compliments and then we get hate mail, and like some stand out, some don't. But the people that like meet you and then like they actually like he's just like that. That's a big compliment to me because like people know that like it's not a ruse. I'm not like doing this because that's the same reason why I like that we do well because it's.
We are exactly what you
Yep.
see on.
You both practice what you preach.
yep.
That's so true.
That
like
is very true.
on and off screen.
Because I don't give a shit if you like me or not.
Yeah, because
I
there's
don't.
so much fake
This is me.
reality on
Like,
social media.
they're like you're a little bit different. I'm very like people either really like me and they really don't. Like
Yep.
I've always been that my whole life because I'm a
Yep.
little bit like
Yeah.
polarizing to where like people either really like me or they like
I'm
really
the
don't.
same way.
I guess I'm gonna.
There's not like
no
not a
in
middle.
between. Yeah,
Right?
you either love me or hate me.
Right.
Can you repeat the question?
What is so you guys are both very public. Everyone thinks they know you or think they know you. What is a weight that you carry that nobody knows?
Wow. That's interesting. I've done such a good job of being just like wide open, vulnerable, and transparent in my content. So for myself, the way that I grew up and the having a dad like I had was I always had a shadow over top of me, right? And where I lived, it was always like, that's Todd's boy, right? Like, and it was very well known that I'm Todd's boy. And so when I left Michigan and I moved to California, and I was just like, it was like I wasn't Todd's boy anymore. No one even knew who Todd was. Like, the fuck is that guy? Nobody cares.
Do whatever you want to.
Right. But there's still that weight of home. Right. And of the people that
Living
know
up to
Todd's boy and
That
that
integrity.
And it's so funny because I was reading in Mark, the other day, and this is so funny. This just came up where Jesus, he knew. He was like, you know, I'm not going to go home and expect these people to understand who I am, right? And because I'm just going to be the carpenter. I'm just going to be the carpenter's son. I'm just going to be like, who is this guy? Who does he really think he is? He's from here. He's the same guy as the rest of us.
Yeah.
So he even told the disciples, he was like, honestly, guys, don't expect like them to understand. They're not going to.
Right.
And for Jesus to know that, and I'm not comparing myself to Jesus in any way, shape, or form, but for him to even accept that, like, you know, you can't have the people who once knew you to understand where you're going and what you're dealing with. But I still that still is like a not a burden, but as a weight on me.
Yeah.
Right. Just to live your entire life as like this huge personality, this huge, powerful figure in our world, his being his son and being held at a certain standard constantly, was tough. And it's like this like tough thing for me to let go of.
Yeah.
Right. Because part of me loves that. Right. Part of
and
me
cons.
loves the fact
Yeah.
that like, yeah, I have a badass father who built a fucking huge empire.
Yeah.
I and raised me in that and taught me all these things. And like, so it's hard for me to not include his story with my story. You know what I mean? And I'm even doing it right now.
Yeah. I love it.
And so that is something that a lot of people I don't think realize, that like I desperately want to be completely detached from being Todd's boy, but I also have comfort in there. I also have
pride.
Yeah, all of that. But like the thing that I want to detach most from is the perception of being Todd's boy it's like I want to have my cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Right? Like and I can, in this case, I can have the lessons. I can have my dad. I can, and he's not even pushing for anything else but that.
Yeah.
Right? He loves that I'm independent. He loves that I make my own money. He loves that I'm not attached to the business anymore. He loves all of that stuff. He thinks he brags about me more than I brag about him.
I love that.
I get DMs all the time, weekly, where random strangers will be like, hey, I'm at the bar in Miami with your dad right now. I've never heard a man brag about his son like he brags about you. And he took me to your profile and he wanted me to reach out to you and follow you.
That is priceless.
I know.
Priceless.
Do you realize that happens weekly? Like, and has for years.
Your father's the only man that wants you to do better than he did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's very true.
Your friends
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
My parents are the same way too. I'm very blessed.
So that would be what I would tell you is something that I carry that I don't think people
That's a good
realize.
answer.
Where it's very hard for me.
It's complex.
It is complex.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel not good enough sometimes?
Like pressure. I was thinking the same thing. Like
So that's my trauma point. That's my biggest trigger, is not feeling good enough. Is not being good enough. That's something that
living up to.
Yep.
Yeah.
that standard.
That standard. Well, yeah, there's the fact that, you know, I have this monster of a human being, this like, you know, this guy that I'm like, that I admire and he's my hero. And I say it all the time. My dad is my hero. So I have that. But also like not being good enough for you. Not being good enough for the people that I consider my friends, you, right? Like I always have that in me. Like, am I not good enough? Did I, you know, and it's not imposter syndrome. I got over that years ago, but it's just, it's not even a feeling of failing somebody. It's just like not being overall the best version of myself for people, or being able to keep it at an 11 when I'm with people.
Well, you guys pour into so many cups. Like you have your spouses, your children, your other family, friends, like the internet people. Like it has to be a lot of pressure to feel like you're doing enough of all of it. You know, like you said, like the attention, what is it?
Day trading
attention. It's like you have to, it's like balancing everything, and it's like easy to burn out, you know?
I wouldn't have that for anything else. I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Yeah.
That's something that I love. I love being the guy whose attention is also on demand. Like I love that I'm literally texted and people need me all day long. That is something. Call it a God complex, call it whatever you want to call it. I do love that. I love being having people seek out my knowledge, right? And,
Yeah.
and taking my advice and guidance. I love being a coach.
Yeah. That's what
I
you
am
guys prayed for.
obsessed with being a coach, you know, and when you always see when I get off of a good coaching call, I'm like giddy, goofy. I start singing. I'm like acting like an idiot.
Yeah.
Whenever I get off of a really
great.
good, yeah, when I get off a great coaching call, my attitude, my heart is racing. Like I get so excited when we get off of a good Tuesday night call. I come out to make dinner for you guys.
You're like, that's a great call. I'm like, you say this every week.
I pick up my phone.
He's like, "It
I'll
was a
call
great
JT.
call, babe."
JT's, you're sick of hearing it. JT's sick of hearing it. I'm
say
like,
that
I'm like,
every
can you
week.
believe the energy that we brought on this one?
Everything's
Like, this was
wonderful,
so
great.
awesome.
Yeah, he's just
I love pouring into
all
people.
in.
Well, that's why you guys, I think, do so well also is because you genuinely love what you do and helping people, like what Darko used to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, Mark says it too. Like I say it, like if you want to get in the rooms with the right people, will have a good knock. Meaning, like success leaves clues, or you could say it leaves crumbs, however you want to say it. And there's people that have found success, and almost all of them are willing to turn around and show other people how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not even because they're the great guys, because someone did it for them.
Yep. Well, and we recognize too
true.
that when one person teaches, two people learn. So for me, like some of my greatest investment is been pouring into
100%.
somebody else.
Pays
Very
dividends,
important.
baby.
It does.
So you're creating your own legacies.
Damn
So
right.
what does success at 80 look for you like for you guys?
Dude, old farts with this girl. I'll be
Retired.
91, so she'll be
Are
80.
you still going to be creating?
I'm gonna be in the gym.
Yeah.
In the
That's
gym.
cool.
Yeah, I'll do my
In the
readings,
gym at
and then when I go to the
80,
gym, I'll be like,
okay.
2.5
Definitely see
weights,
that.
2.5 weights. But yeah, be an old fart, be an old fart, and hanging out with my bride, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, dude, I don't know. I just yeah.
Are you going
that's
to be
it.
creating still?
I have no idea. I definitely, hopefully, will have. I don't know. I hopefully I've touched enough lives to where I've left a mark. It's for me. It's never enough. Like
You'll
there's
still
a
be
drive in
creating.
certain men that's it's never enough. You kind of articulated it right now a little bit, where yeah, it's never enough. Never enough what we do. You know what we try to do. We have the unique. Well, everybody does. I posted something yesterday because it was so like it's honestly like we all can touch the world now. Social media has connected all of us. Don't use that to be a dickhead. Like use that
So simple.
to inspire people.
be a
Like
dickhead.
literally, like
Yeah.
it doesn't even
Yeah.
matter if you like to like groom cats. I don't know if that's a thing, but let's say you do, and that's what you did. That's what you do, and you're good at it. Like inspire the other groom cat people. Like don't talk shit on cats. Like don't be that dickhead, dude. Like we're supposed to help people. We're supposed to inspire people, and then like that's the purpose. So when I'm 91, I hope I'm still inspiring people. Like that dude used to be a badass.
Dude, for
He's
sure.
old as fuck now, though.
Yeah,
the
I
gym
don't
lifting.
think he's going to stop. I'm prepared
Yeah.
for it. I'm prepared for the ride. It's
Justin,
never,
did you see
it's
that
never
post,
going
bro?
to end. He's going to be, he's going to be calling you at 80s.
Sick grandpas.
Yeah, grandpa. Yeah.
Punk rocking, baby. Oh man, we got to do this again. We need that. Well, maybe we'll get cruise up to your guys' neck of the woods
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah.
That
Let's
would
do
be
it.
fun.
We appreciate you guys,
Yes.
man. You see why we
fun.
adore these humans so much. My wife is
We hit it
my
off
best
immediately.
friend. My best friend. I love her to death. She's my biggest supporter, and vice versa, man. I know you feel the same.
Yeah.
So dinner was great last night. So
It
we'll
was.
close this out.
Yeah. Guys, if you like what you heard, make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you comment, share this around, get this message out there. We're here to help. We're here to love on you guys and give you whatever you need. So hit us up on our social media platforms. We'll catch you next time on the Sick Boys podcast. We're out.